Hey everyone, Josh here. Happy New Year. Just hanging out, playing with some of the new multiverse figures I got to play with. Give a little bit of time, see if anybody jumps in here. I haven't done one of these lives in a while. It's been like at least a month, and I've got a lot of new stuff since then. Hey everyone, how's it going? I also have these new weapons for Suicide Squad figures. I did a video about them recently. I think the air just kicked on in here. Hopefully that doesn't bother anyone. I want the quality to be good, but I don't want it to be so good that I have to turn the heat off. It's cold here in Indianapolis. Don't be afraid to say what's up. If you got something you want to see, take a closer look at, let me know. I got some of these new figures in here as well. The shelves are a little empty right now. You can even see up here. I don't have it really filled out. I'm trying to juggle everything and cycle some of the new figures in and put some of the other ones in storage, or move them to other shelves, pair different characters up. I haven't totally decided yet. Definitely having a hard time like taking any of the mega figs or build-a-figs away. Just the presence that it can't really be beat. So even if some of these guys weren't my favorite, like I don't know, like Bane. I know not everyone loved Bane, but I have a hard time putting him away. Been pretty stoked on these Gotham Knights figures. The fun factor is really high. Actually, this Nightwing, let's see if I can do it. I had him posed like this in this running, and he was balanced. Right. Balanced one leg. And it was a pretty decent pose. He doesn't want to hold it, but that's pretty cool. They got a lot of personality. I feel like some of the game figures, like what's his name, Deathstroke, looked really cool, but maybe was kind of like limited in how much he could move around. And that's like a character you want to be able to move around and put in a lot of like acrobatic ninja kind of poses. And he was a little stiff. These don't have that. These are fully ready to go. Like the Deathstroke one, I think they favored look, the visual over articulation and playability, whereas these are a much healthier mix. I'm really loving this Red Hoods. I like the gun hands. I know some people were not quite happy, but hey, I got him doing the cool Peter Parker. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's fun. The gun hands for me took this guy from being like, well, that's not really the Red Hood that I'm here for, so he probably wasn't going to make his way onto the shelf. But now that he's got these hands, he's going to end up there. So that's, I don't know, worth it for me. I liked it. Cody, what's up? How's it going? Happy New Year. You got anybody you want to see up close? You can hear me talk about? Let me know. I don't have an agenda today. I just want to say what's up, hang out for a bit, because it's been a while since I was really cranking out a lot of videos at the in December and like the last few weeks of the year. Arjun, hey, what's up? Hey, appreciate that, man. You know what I gotta say? If you like seeing people with cool poses. D Amazing Toys. I think he's got a YouTube channel, but I follow him on Twitter. If you just go to his Twitter and like just look at the media, the photos he poses, he's just dynamite posing. Cody, you dig these hands? Thank you. I do too. I like them. And you know what? Here's one thing I really like about this guy, and just shows off how great these butterfly joints are. Say he was just, these shoulders were locked in kind of a neutral, like Marvel Legends E kind of no butterfly. You know, that would be the pose, and that's pretty good and all. But when you can get that a little bit higher and back, and you can get that side a little bit lower, you see that just like that slight body language change really takes the pose to like that next level. I always say reference photos. Look up pictures of whatever pose you can think of, whether it's you know, a guy with, you know, shooting two guns, or a guy jumping through the air, or you know, whatever it is, acrobats, athletes. And then also just act it out. Look at yourself in the mirror and think about what you're doing. You know, if you're doing that, would your shoulders move this way or like that? That's just kind of how I approach it. Quentin, what's up? He's asking if I've ordered any figures from the Batman wave. Yeah, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna play with them, and if actually, you know what I say, if I don't love them, I'm not gonna keep them. I have a hard time getting rid of the ones that I don't even totally love. Like I've been talking about, I was gonna get rid of my Snyder Cut wave. I've been talking about that for like 2-3 months, and I'm holding on to them just because I can't bear to do it. So I think that Batman wave is gonna be pretty cool. I don't know if the fun factor, you know, will be quite there. It's gonna kind of just depend on what that, like Riddler, he's got that long, unbroken torso with his long jacket, and then Penguin is probably the same way. If you've seen those leaked photos, he's wearing his sort of 3-piece suit and the trench coat. He's probably not going to have a lot of like fun movement. That's my guess, which isn't terrible. I mean, some of these things, it is just, you know, for the look of it. You know, some of them end up being tons of fun. Actually, if you've watched Bones in the Necro Zoo, he's a great guy. He was doing his top 10 of 2021, and he was talking about how just some of the figures, like every time you walk by it, you want to pick it up and you know, fidget with it and do something else, and like, oh yeah, that he looks cool in that pose, but he can do so many poses, so you want to just keep picking it up. Some of them have that, some of them don't. Some of them just look cool. Like that Killing Joke Joker, he's probably never going to get posed again. That's going to be what he looks like, but he's one of the best looking. So if the Batman, the Pattinson Batman figures, I'm sure I'll find plenty of things to like about him. Cody's asking if I've watched Titans. I haven't watched Titans, and I think someone else was also commenting about that recently. They were hoping for some Titans figures. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna show my ignorance here. Is Titans? Is it on CW? Is it like with the Flash, kind of? And what else? Batwoman, is that like in there with them, or is that? I know it's on HBO. And eventually I'll get around to watching it, and I'll watch it on HBO. But I didn't know if it was like at that same level with like the new that Superman show, Batwoman. I don't have my. It's not on my radar that much. I've just not kept up on HBO Max. That's what I was thinking too. But is it is it one that was on the DC Universe app and then they moved everything over to HBO? Like Doom Patrol, maybe was it one on that? Yeah, I don't think it's on. Yeah, okay. Just curious. Just curious because I don't know what I know. Some of the CW shows they are of a kind of they cross over and stuff, and then some of them didn't. I wasn't sure if Titans was in that. Is the new Nightwing still on Amazon? I mean, we can look that up right now because let's just see. New Nightwing, Gotham Knights, Nightwing. You know what? When I pre-ordered this, oh, see, I pre-ordered that Nightwing. There was no image, and then now I go to that listing. It doesn't even show up. Actually, I saw somebody posted earlier today that Drifter Bruce Wayne from the Pattinson Eternal Ghost. Thank you. It was on DC Universe, but moved to HBO. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I don't know that the DC Universe shows kind of maybe had a higher production value. Seemed like Doom Patrol, you know. That man, that DC Universe app was cool. I had it for a while. It's kind of a shame that they um, it just stole some of the best content and then left it kind of adrift. I used it and I read a ton of comics on there. It was cool. Like it was during the pandemic and it was $5 a month. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was 10. Uh, but yeah, I don't know that Warner just kind of keeps like screwing over all their DC stuff. It seems like Legend of Light. What's up, man? Hey, Happy New Year. You back in school yet? Legend of Light. I meant to actually, because I saw you just commented about. Dang it, where was it? I wanted to respond to it. Oh, the Red Hood. You were talking about the handguns from the original, right? I should have mentioned this in the review. I did that review kind of in a hurry. I think actually even the whole video is like the camera's not even level. But his normal hands is one fist, and this one hand that's this, and I don't think it's gonna even hold a gun, dude. I think you would have to take, excuse me. I think you would have to take hands from a different figure that would be able to hold it. Cody, yeah, I got to watch Young Justice. Didn't read any comics, but thought it was really cool. Oh yeah, the DC Universe app. Actually, you know what? And man, even that DC Universe app. At one point, they were doing. I'm just grabbing some. They were doing some promotion where if you just watched, read certain comics or watched whatever, you basically they're clocking how much time you spend in the app. You get points, and then you can cash those points in. I got this for free from that DC Universe app for just reading comics. And then they kind of left it high and dry. It's really too bad. It was cool. It was a cool app. Better than the I think any of the other comic label apps I've seen. Like or does Marvel have their own proprietary subscription comics e-reader thing? Back to this gun. Look at this, man. Legend of Light. Are you seeing this, man? This won't even go in there. You would have to take. I know that's whack. I think that's, of course, they don't even give him a hand that can hold a gun. So yeah, I think you'd have to take hands from someone else for your what you mentioned, using these guns for the Gotham Knights. Robert, what's up? Happy New Year. Oh, spare guns for the flashpoint pads. You know what? I don't have them. I would have to dig them out. But the point remains that this hand is really tiny. Like not even. Yeah. I don't think the flashpoint guns would fit in there. Legend of Light, you've been hanging with the family. Yeah, my girlfriend and I went to Long Beach, Mississippi, from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve, because my parents live down there, and then we yeah, it looks perfect for a crowbar. Yeah, yeah, everything's crowbars. And then we spent a couple days in New Orleans while we're down there, because that's like an hour away. Had a really amazing time over the holidays. What do I think of the upcoming McFarlane Solar Superman? He looks cool. I like that beard. I like that the it looks like they started with the same base head as that Wave 1 Superman, which if it ain't broke, it doesn't need fixing. You know, that was a great head. Um, it looks like the infected Superman body with the but with no cape, and I think taking that cape off takes away some of his like hunched over, like ugh, like smashy sort of attitude. So it yeah, makes him a little bit more of that graceful, peaceful, neutral Superman sort of look. I think it's gonna be cool. Um, and I think that Zod is gonna be out of sight. That Zod looks like something special. What else? You want to see anything else? Oh, yeah. Speaking of guns, I'm sure some of you saw that I got these custom Suicide Squad weapons. I did a video on them. Check that out. Um, but man, these were really like these are pretty special. These are really well done. You can see they're actually a way better color blue than the original paint job on here. These custom weapons totally like saved these Suicide Squad figures, in my opinion. They look way better now. Now I just have to add more paint so that they look like they deserve to look, basically. Legend Light, I don't think I was even collecting when they last did a comic Zod. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've seen a comic Zod. I still want Michael Shannon one, because man, that just all of the Man of Steel, it was good. All the Krypton stuff is just killer, and Michael Shannon. Any other figures? Cody's asking any other figures I'm wishing for soon. I'm wishing for Constantine and the rest of the Justice League Dark. My biggest DC, top of my DC wish list is Watchmen, which I actually did a video about that recently. Check that out if you haven't seen it. For all my opinions about Watchmen. Anybody else? I don't know. I'm a DC fan. I'm more of a Batman fan than anything, and sometimes I'm just kind of like I'm along for the ride. I don't necessarily have idealized versions of all these characters in my head. You know, like I know what I think Nightwing should be like. If you want to do something different, I'm on board if it's fun. You know, just my comic tastes are. I tend to like the Elseworlds limited stories. You know, whether it's Long Halloween or it's Dark Knight Returns or whatever. And when you read a story like that, there maybe it doesn't always like mesh with what your headcanon is for what you think that how the character should be acting or how you think it should go. But you know, it's not like I don't come at stuff like, oh, I think you should be doing this. I think you should be doing that. And especially when they end up doing weird, wacky, I never would have asked for or thought of or wanted hazmat Batman, and this guy's just super cool and fun. So a lot of times I'm coming at it with that expectation of just like these figures are just really fun for me, and it's tangentially related to Batman, so I can get on board with it. And I don't necessarily. I'm not like, oh, why aren't you making this? Why aren't you making this? You should make this. So that makes me kind of, I think, a little bit of an oddball, in just figure circles, because other people are coming in this. They have maybe closer attachments to some of the storylines or some of the characters, and they're like, well, I want this, and they're not wrong to want that. But I'm just more of a, I don't know, I guess I'm just have an easygoing attitude about it. And I have found in my experience, when I don't put a bunch of expectations on something, I'm like opened up to have this experience of like, oh, this is really cool. I never wanted this Red Hood, but he's actually fun. And I don't know. That's my journey, I guess. You think Todd will give us a Cassandra Cain? I mean, I guess it would just depend on kind of just depends on what stories they pick and choose to use, which sources, you know what I mean? If they did, I bet it would be like Rebirth or what's the other one they go to really heavy? New 52. But honestly, I couldn't actually even tell you the differences between the minutia of the differences between the different Cassandra Cains. I was just they come at this stuff. It seems like from okay, this is the source material that we're going with this time, and the most fleshed out corners where it's not just repeats of Batman over and over again are Rebirth and New 52 characters. It seems like I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like I see it. I don't have it necessarily definitive opinions on or information about why they make the choices or what's on their short list of figures to deliver. Black Mantle says Elseworlds are great because it's a contained story. It's a $20 book, and you don't have crossover books or any other nonsense of a comic run. That I agree with that, and it's not because the monthly ongoing titles are bad or anything. It just becomes, it just starts to feel like work, and it starts to, these stories run for so long and these characters have existed for decades. And if you really for me, if you just try to keep up with every single thing that's ever happened, I end up, I tap out pretty quickly. I would rather just say, oh, it's Gotham by Gaslight, and it's Jack the Ripper times, and this is what it is. Okay, I'll go on board with that. You tell me your story, and then at the end, I can walk away and still say, okay, in my head canon is whatever version of Batman, or you know what I mean. Oh, Blue Beetle, for sure. We really do need, yeah, we need some Blue Beetles. That'd be really fun. Especially if they do where he's got the clear goggles and stuff. I'd love to see that. Cody and Legend of Light are talking about icons. Blue Beetle. Cody, are you a fan of the Injustice figures? I tend to not care for those character designs from the game very much, but they're fun. Actually, that Injustice Flash, it's really fun. His effects, his punchy, fighty effects were really cool. Yeah, and now I think these Gotham Knights figures are shaping up to be, as fun as any other. It just seemed like at the beginning, I know people say that Arkham Knight Batman had a great ab crunch and stuff, but he was so rigid, and the cape is just big and heavy. I just had a hard time finding very many poses for him that weren't just whereas these guys want to go a lot of different directions. Still look cool. Actually, Oh, you know what? I am starting to get a bit of an ongoing QC issues where the arms are like really stiff. Now this is all of a sudden freed up, but they're really stiff, and then they pop out of these pegs pretty easily. It seems like. CJ Yo-Yo is asking if I got my year 2 Batman, and I can tell you. I got the signed one, which of course the first one that gets delivered is the one that I cannot open. This is for the archives. This is not for eBay. This is for staying in the box. I never keep stuff in the box, but this guy is so rad. And I'll tell you, I have a feeling I'm not gonna have him on the shelf with the big blowy cape. It's an awesome, huge, very cool, unique presence, but it covers most of that figure, and that figure just looks so cool. The blue and gray is just like, that's what I grew up with. That's the look, that when I was first playing, when I had this back cave right there as a kid, I had a blue and gray Batman figure. So I got him. Looks amazing. Can't wait to get it out of there, but he's got to stay. But the regular one did ship. It's saying it's going to be here today or tomorrow. And I'm going to review it as soon as it gets here. So yeah, CJ, it's happening. It's going to be happening. Did you pre-order it? Did you have any of it? Were you stuck in all the baloney? Black Mantle got his canceled. Yeah, they're whack, man. It's just, it doesn't make any sense because they'll open up pre-orders for a video game, right? That video game's coming out. You can pre-order it. Well, the video game gets delayed. Okay, fine. Not the first time that's ever happened. Not going to be the last time a video game gets delayed. Well, your pre-order doesn't disappear because the item is still going to arrive. So the whole thing of like it gets canceled, it doesn't make any sense. Legend of Light saying, man, the shoulder on my Snyder Cut Soup's blue version is completely frozen. Tried heating it up and everything just won't hinge. Man, Legend of Light, what'd you use to heat that up? Did you use like the hair dryer or did you use hot water? And actually, a follow-up question, does it pop out? Because if it pops out and it's just this part that's frozen, it's kind of easier if you dunk that in hot water just by itself. Iron Giant, what's up? Happy New Year. Welcome. CJ, oh, your year 2 has a pencil mustache looking paint problem? You know what? I don't have it here, but you might try like a Tide to Go pen. If you see how those things work, they have that little felt little thing, and you can kind of push in, and when you push in, it gets the liquid soaks into that felt thing, and that's what you apply. If you do that and you put that liquid like on a paper towel or just a regular like washcloth or something, and just lightly rub on that where there's that paint, you might be able to get that off. I did that for the Mohawk Wonder Woman. I didn't like the painted on stubble on the sides. I wanted it to look just bare skin, like clean shaved, like the comic. So I did that method with the Tide to Go pen, and it worked. It worked. Yeah, everyone is rightfully very annoyed with the cancellations. Well, and the way I see this. This is a Target problem. Walmart, whatever. Those are the guys in this food chain. Those are the big guys. Those are the ones with the logistical capabilities to solve um, these problems. It's I mean, Todd's gonna have his problems. That'll be production delays, probably some shipping delays, things of that nature. But when it comes down to the pre-orders, it's not through McFarlane, it's through Target. Target is who's dropping the ball. Heard about bicep issues with year two bats. I haven't heard about that, but I have had some of the figures where the bicep, like like the way it's cut at kind of this to go with the muscle here on the back, like, tricep. That thing will push against kind of, and then it'll make the biceps pop out. I can't remember which figure it was that was doing that. Um, Might have been Lobo even actually, but yeah, is an issue. Oh, Black Mantle saying try Windex on the pencil mustache thing for CJ. Yeah, Iron Giant. I'm just trying to collect the old figures. Personally, I think they're better looking. You mean the older multiverse, or you mean like um, DC Direct and stuff, or you just mean like the earlier figures in the multiverse line? I'm curious because some of the newer ones they do maybe not quite look as good, but then man, I don't know. You get something like this that is really stellar, and like this Batgirl doesn't weigh. I guess what it comes down to is just like ones. Well, I've already got whatever the craziest, coolest looking Wonder Woman you've ever seen. So you give me a regular Wonder Woman, I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't think it beats that Death Metal one or whatever. Just example, making up examples, but Black Manta, yeah, Black Manta would be dope. Yeah, really dope. I think when I pose this, eventually, I was talking about the classic characters. Eventually, I will have once that new Three Jokers Batman. Actually, sorry, somebody was asking about that earlier. Sorry, let me find it. Sorry, I can't find it, but I saw it. It was asking if I was getting the rest of the Three Jokers. They're pre-ordered. Whenever they finally show up, I will be reviewing them, and I'm looking forward to them. But what I was getting at is when I get that classic gray and black Batman, I'll do a sort of classic Bat family, kind of all exploding out, jumping through the air, classic characters. Robert Lay asking, Merciless Unmasked going to be real? I don't know. I haven't heard that, but that sounds cool. It'd be cool if they did a solo release of Merciless. A lot of people are getting bicep pegs that disintegrate out of package. Had a mate have two with that issue. It makes me a tad apprehensive about getting the figure, but it looks so amazing. Man, that sucks. What you mean bicep? Legend of Light? You mean bicep here, the pegs, or the shoulder ball? Because I can definitely see that year two when it having an issue with the shoulder ball pegs. I mean, if it's packaged in the box without those in the way the Joker bot was, once you put them together, those things want to pop right out. I think actually I need to do probably hot water on that Joker bot to get it, hopefully make the arms stick better, the shoulder balls with the pegs. Last Night on Earth Batman looks good, but many passed on it. Well, Last Night on Earth Batman is my favorite Batman from this multiverse wave so far. I think that design is so cool and creative. The straight jacket, it just feels like I've never seen that figure before, and when you pick it up and play with it, it feels like no other figure in the line, and that is the stuff I like because when it feels like you're getting the same figure over and over again, when every single figure has the exact same size arms and same cuts and same, I just start to feel like I'm getting the same thing over and over again. And like if I felt like that was the case from this multiverse line, I wouldn't be picking up every single one of them. I would be a lot more choosy about what I get. So that Last Night on Earth is dynamite. I know a lot of people aren't crazy about it. He does have some issues. He's a little short. But man, that's this thing. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me coming back. And if they were just giving me classic characters, I wouldn't be picking them all up. I wouldn't. Christopher is saying Todd needs to rethink the platinum figures. They should have more or different paint on them and not less or no paint on them. 100%. Absolutely. The platinum, calling it platinum is just really dumb. And gold label even. The gold label Red Death had less paint on it than the one that came, the real one that came in that 2-pack. Black Mantle saying, I know we were tired of repaints, but I would be down for Blue White Knight Batman. He's my favorite Batman in the line. White Knight, one of my favorites as well. And tired of repaints, yes, but they are going to happen. And so if they're going to do them, I just want them to be good. And they did that. The 2 versions of Lex Luthor, dynamite. That's how you do a repaint. The completely different color scheme, different head, different chest piece. Do I have any platinum edition figs? I have who do I have? Which Joker is it? No, that's not platinum. That's not artist proof. That's whatever that Arkham Joker, whether he was bronze. Found him, grabbed him. I found actually one of those Warhammer Space Marines that was the artist proof gray. I just saw him in the store and I was like, yeah, that's cool. But he's just sitting on a box on a shelf right now. Am I interested in Endless Winter Wave? That one is really not connecting for me. They look kind of cool. That Wonder Woman design's cool, but the Starburst colors are like, don't feel right. It's another Lantern. That Lantern body didn't blow me away. It had the same thing as this Nightwing had, which is for some reason this middle piece is way too rigid, and it's got, I don't know. It's all right. Who else is in that? Oh, the Black Adam. It looks pretty cool from the Endless Winter Wave, but I really love the Winter Batman, because like this hazmat, it just feels like that Kenner era of whatever stupid mission, volcano mission, underwater mission, Batman. Like, if they're gonna keep cranking out Batmans like they do, I want the dumbass like little kid winter Batman. Yeah, I want that. And then everything else is just whatever. That Frost Giant will be cool. The Frost Giant, what I'll do is I'll probably get that Witcher Frost Giant Mega Fig. That Frost Giant Build-A-Fig, and then have them clashing with eventually medieval Spawn on a horse. Whenever that happens, and we know it's happened, and we've seen kind of glimpses of medieval Spawn. Whether it's going to be a Kickstarter, whether it's going to be, do they do open editions on their website direct? I don't know. That Kickstarter Spawn, I know a lot of people had problems with it and stuff, and the um, along the way lost some maybe faith in it. But I didn't get on board with that Kickstarter spawn until the stretch goals and stuff started coming in, and what I didn't get on board till they said okay, big boot and big gauntlet for the modern, because that's what I think of when I think of spawn. And so if my point being, if they do this medieval spawn and they don't like have the stretch goals, I think it'll be a little underwhelming compared to what they ended up eventually finally cramming into that Kickstarter spawn box. Because that's what I didn't get that Kickstarter spawn to like the last day of the campaign. Bones, what's up, man? How's it going, buddy? Happy New Year. Black Mantle saying it would be amazing if Todd could remix the old Kenner Superman and Batman line for sure. And really, like, I want that. Like, can't think of the name. He was like bronze. He was copper, and he had the backpack. That was my favorite variant. That was the same one, right? The copper guy, and he had the. You pull the little thing, and the wings go out of his backpack. Bones, I was just talking about you earlier about your best of list, and I was like totally the way you were talking about how some of these, when you just see them on the shelf, every single time you got to like pick them up and kind of fidget with it, keep coming back to it. I was talking about that earlier. I hope Medieval Spawn will have modern articulation, or they release a version like that in the Spawn line too. Yeah, it might be Legend of Light. It might be both ways, or like where the Kickstarter one or whatever it ends up being, maybe has that limited, more statuey look, and then they teased or they sneaked the peek of that for that Christmas post or New Year's post, whatever it was, and it looked like a new Spawn, or it looked like the Mortal Kombat Spawn, but he kind of had a different cape and little brighter colors. I was a little underwhelmed by it. I mean, I don't know. This feels like I don't know. Just it's definitely not like it's not. I don't know. I think I prefer the Kickstarter one to the Mortal Kombat one. I know people like that it has the cuts in it, but I think that torso looks with the M on his chest without any cuts on it. Just looks better. Plus, he's locked into that just standing because his cape is so damn big. Yeah, Gunslinger is out of sight. It's cool that I guess that they're coming out with that other one, but I just I don't know the guns that he came with the first release. I prefer those over that Gatling gun thing. But I mean, any day now, She Spawn and Cygor are supposed to be here. Those both look awesome. I think She Spawn is looks like the winner of Wave 2 for me. The accessories way more practical than the clown's backpack thing. It's not that I don't like the clown backpack thing. He didn't need it. He didn't need it. If they're really going to reference Spawn 2 or Clown 2, or was it Clown 2 or 3, with the human head like on his arm with his mouth like punched through the jaw and the head has sunglasses on it. That's what I wanted to see. But they're a little. Something about those new Spawns. They're a little Disney-fied. Does anybody else feel that way? I mean, it is what it is. The Spawn's been mainstream basically since Image, showed up on the scene. But he's just not as edgy as he was in the 90s. And Todd, obviously, with all these new spin-offs and stuff, he's trying to Avengers-fy it. So I think they've gotten a little Disney-fied, which is whatever. Can't go home again, CJ, you're get that She Spawn, yeah. I mean those guns, dude. She's got more accessories than she can hold. So obviously, spread the love around, give give some other characters some of her weapons. Barton, what's up, man? Happy New Year, bud. Any creative posing ideas for Red Nightwing and the Death of the Family Nightwing? Let me see here. I've got him. Hang on. I've got this. It's not the red one, but Bones, I got tracking on my ear too as well. It says tomorrow. I'm hoping. And I don't know if you were watching when I can't remember now if you were watching. I got the signed one. It's gonna be out of sight. When I can finally get one, I can take out of the box. So, in creative, if you've got the Red Nightwing and the Death of the Family Nightwing, obviously it's this guy. If you watch that review of the new one thing I mentioned was if you twist his midsection here, back, and now his top. So we're actually looking at his back right here in the ab section. You get a little bit more forward crunch out of him, and visually it doesn't look like you're looking at his back. So that's one thing that can help. But I really like Nightwing. I just like him doing high kicks or jumping kicks or back flips even. And it's just something, again, look up Google image search trapeze artists, acrobats, Olympic athletes, whether high jump or something like that, and see, just look at what they're doing and where their limbs go, this is an art term, but the line of action, meaning like you got this guy running like this, you see what the line is, and then that line is giving you a sense of movement. You know what I mean? So there's different factors to kind of play in, to use as sort of guidelines. You don't have to do anything. Not a matter of right or wrong. Just look at references, look at human beings and what their bodies are capable of. And then if you take some liberties, fine. It's just for fun. If you end up with a pose that maybe defies physics, that's not necessarily bad, but you can use some of these other sort of principles of movement and maybe composition even to take it that next sort of step. I don't know if that helps. Legend of Light, hey, thanks for jumping in here, man. Good talking to you. Good luck at school. Oh, Varden saying Gold Label Red Hood is still available on McFarlane's store. Yeah, actually, it would behoove any interested parties to keep their eye on that McFarlane site, because stuff pops up all the time. The video on adding Varden, I didn't watch that one that you linked. I didn't check to see what it was. I have seen them do it before. Was it the White Knight ones from way back? Because I have seen that, but I didn't check that link that you posted yet. Arjun, yeah. Hey, good luck, bud. Just no right or wrong. Just have fun with it and look like. Try to act it out. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do backflips and stuff like Nightwing. Some of us can maybe, but not all of us. You can't necessarily do that, but just try to think of just act it out and where are your limbs going? You kind of just gotta feel it out. And then sometimes you gotta feel like sometimes the figures, they have a little bit more body language sculpted in, and you kind of gotta feel let it tell you what it wants to do, and you might be locked out of certain poses and stuff, but Oh man, my cat is hollering out there. Can you hear her? Oh yeah, you guys are talking about this Red Hood maskless one. Hey, if I step away for like 2 minutes, will you guys be cool right here? I'll be right back. And if you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm back. My cat wants to go in the basement. She hollers and screams. We have to make sacrifices for the ones we love, but I appreciate you guys hanging around for that. Oh, Bones is talking about using this unmasked Red Hood as Terry McGinnis, which is that's a great idea. I didn't have a problem with this face sculpt. Some people maybe that's not their idea of what Jason Todd looks like, but I can live with that. We need a Grundy, Quentin. You're absolutely right. And you know, I talk about like I want more Arkham figures because I just really like all the Arkham games, and it's funny because I don't love the character designs from Arkham. A lot of them just don't do it for me. And Grundy is one where I'd rather have a comic looking Grundy than maybe the Arkham City. But I still want the Arkham characters, and I just want them to have a little bit more. Um, I don't know. I talk about this a lot, where it's like the video game characters. They do them so they render them just like they look in the games, and I don't want them to look like that. Really, I want them to look like this style that it's kind of a hybrid of comic booky and other inspiration. I just want them to have that quality. Arkham Catwoman. That is a good design. That is a good character design. Yeah, Vart saying Todd mentioned Grundy in an interview, so I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, but then again, sometimes the characters on their wish list, they're not even. Their hands are kind of tied because they have to work on this stuff with DC. Where's my whatever? Yeah, Vart saying I'm sure the game characters are printed directly from the game files. That's what it looks like. They just look like they took the same 3D assets, put cuts in them, and they suffer for it. They don't. The fun factor is missing. They're a little rigid, and they're just not quite as. And none of them have anything close to this sort of like hip thrusty attitude, body language. which that's what to me takes the character like to the next level. The figure. Varden saying, I think something's going on with sexy figures from Todd. I'm not sure we'll get the Arkham women. It's unthinkable. It's been 2 years with no sexy women from him if there's not some mandate. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, especially with the way that Todd designed Wonder Woman, like had the midriff sculpted in, but then they painted over it. It does seem a little weird. I don't know if it's modern attitudes. You know, because you could, they don't have to look like Witchblade, but they can still be sexy. You know what I mean? We don't have to go to this sort of chaste Puritan. You know, it just, maybe their bazongas aren't as stacked. You just tone it down a little bit, be a little respectful, and then, but also, this guy's sexy. You know what I mean? Like, that's, dude. You make the guys hunks, right? Daniel, I like that Jason Hood, but I don't want to buy the same figure twice. Yeah, it's going to take a lot for me to start to go get any more of these just different head guys. It was partially just because like I wasn't going to be mad about having another one of these Red Hoods bodies, and then this pose I think is cool. Is maybe contemplating his choices as Red Hood. Bones says they don't want guns or jerking it. Hey man, I'll find ways to jerk it to any of these figures. Yeah, Arkham Catwoman is open. She is. Yeah, the Arkham City especially. The Arkham Knight one was a little more modest. Yeah, and actually, Barton has mentioned the DC Direct. Like, they did all of the Arkham games, and that the style that they were rendered, they didn't dazzle me. They didn't look, especially if you saw them in person. And man, you're talking about no paint, man. Those things looked. They didn't look good. I really wanted to get that Oracle with the 2-pack, and she had the wheelchair, but man, I saw it in person. And it looked like did not look good. Arkham Batman's lower torso was it mostly a miss? Yeah, people said that Arkham Knight has a great like ab crunch waist, but I didn't. It wasn't there for me. And I said this already. Part of it was his cape is that shape, and his body language is such that that couldn't really find too many good poses where he felt right. And partially, I guess, it's the character's design. If you play Arkham, notice that if you are up on a perch and you're crouched, and you try to spin the camera around and see exactly what his body is doing underneath that big cape, it won't let you. He turns away from the camera because it's breaking the sculpt to have him contorted in that way. Yeah, look at the She-Spawn is definitely sexy. Yeah, with that like Eon Flux sort of half leather, she looks hot. What am I thinking of? Magician Zatanna. Can we even get her with fishnets? Because I don't know. Because they could do her, still be modest, still keep the fishnets, and we could still jerk it. The real question is when we're getting a Halle Berry Catwoman. It's a great question. The question everyone's asking. We need a classic Doomsday. Yeah, it's just it's baffling to me that they just haven't reworked that Devastator to be classic Doomsday. Give him maybe slightly different shoulders, obviously a different head. It's mostly there. Yeah, Barton's saying he would buy Halle Berry Catwoman. Me too. I would too. And Catwoman, the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. It's a bad movie, but it's very watchable. It's very watchable, bad. In the same way that I think Episode 1 is the most rewatchable prequel because it's bad. It's bad in a very just specific way where it still has personality. And then episodes 2 and 3 are just bland. All the life just wrung out of them. Just I can't even bear to think about it. Whereas Phantom Menace, I can watch that all day, even though it sucks. And even Batman and Robin, it's watchable. It's very watchable. There's different kinds of bad. There's bad that's just not even worth your time, and there's bad that's like, this is amazing. And the Halle Berry Catwoman, it's very watchable. What's the guy's name? Benjamin Brad. Yeah. And Sharon Stone, right? Ends up being the villain, and she's like the makeup corporate, right? Yeah, I'd also I would absolutely buy a George Clooney Batman figure. I would buy a Chris O'Donnell Robin all day. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, Huntress and Birds of Prey, for sure. I love that. The costume designs in Birds of Prey, I think, are out of bounds. Even if it's not the versions of the character, dude, I would take a figure of the Birds of Prey, Zaz and Black Mask both. Black Mask in those pajamas that have his face on it. That's what I want. Yeah, I mean, I really hope he can start doing. I mean, I want a Keaton Batman. I don't have to. We can go through the list all day, but I just hope if he does retroactive movie lines that he doesn't do the 6-inch, which it seems like people are buying. I see them on shelves, and then I come back and they are gone. But I mean, I did some videos on them, and it didn't seem like a lot of people were. I mean, I got those 66 ones. Everybody had them, I think, for a while, and it's not like there was a lot to them, or a lot of new opinions to be had, maybe. So that's when I did mine, I think people were just like, whatever, I already seen them. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see people talk about them. I don't see and they're cool. They're just not. I never picked up Joker. I've seen that Riddler. I didn't pick him up. I'm probably just not. I'm cool to have the Batmobile, Batman and Robin. That's fun, but yeah, if they start giving us Michael Keaton and Chris O'Donnell, I hope they're this size. Barton saying I almost never see Todd DC on shelves ever outside of Target. Yeah. Oh man, I can't tell you the last time I went to a Walmart and saw more than 2 or 3 figures, and they're usually out of date ones. Like it'll be Steppenwolf, or it'll be King Shazam at a Walmart, and that's it. So I don't know, and it's been a while really since there's a Target by me, and when this line first hit, they were hitting, and I could find them, and I found them early, and I actually before this channel even started, I messaged Voice of Reason, because I found Azrael, the armor Azrael, I think before anybody else. It was like that Target was coming through, and now it's like they restock it. I went in there last week and it was all Snyder Cut. Like, dude, I've had Snyder Cut for like 6 months. only ever find new McFarlane stuff at GameStop. GameStop's starting to come through. Marvel Legend guys are really underrating DC Multiverse. They just want to hate. It's a toy line. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean Black Mantle. I don't know. I can't. People people don't have strong opinions about things that they feel lukewarm about. They have strong opinions about things they really give a shit about. So I do understand why people come at the really heated and really negative, and it's because they want something just right. And a lot of times, I think I've said it before, but when something's mediocre, it's not even getting worth getting worked up about. Who cares? But if something's like really close to being perfect and it has some like minor little, easily fixable, nitpicky things, it just like is like, oh, it's frustrating. It's way more frustrating than if it just sucked. If it just sucked, who cares? Sucks. Yeah, Barton say Marvel Legends is a lifestyle. It's true, man. But and it, like I said with the figures, you start collecting stuff, you get kind of locked into what you're collecting, so if you've been spending however many years getting 6-inch figures, I get it. If you can't cross over, you can't cross, if you can't justify it, you can't justify it. And so that in itself is enough to annoy you. If you're locked into 6-inch figures, you see something this cool and you're like, damn, I want to be able to get that, but I can't justify it. My my collecting kind of like I've never been, I have crap in my eye. Never been huge all in on one line since I was a kid, since like the era of Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters, even stuff like that. And I would just be kind of a here and there sort of. I just pick up stuff that speaks to my interest and my taste. Never, no, nothing close to like really going all in on a line like this. But I started collecting Metal Gear stuff, and I had such a great time. I would never have bought a Play Arts Kai 12-inch wild anime looking figure, and I did. I got that Play Arts Kai Liquid Snake, and it's just one of the coolest, most fun figures I've ever had, and I think it's one of the coolest looks of that character that I've ever seen. And then I would buy a Revoltech, saw Big Boss or whatever. Never would have picked up a Revoltech, and man, I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I can be very maybe loosey goosey, and explore different corners by not being like locked into one line. And of course, that is talking about the past because now I'm way locked into this multiverse line. Obviously, 7-inch. I'm locked into 7-inch now, I guess. But that's not really true. I get legends here and there. They're the best for customs because there's so many different body shapes and man, I mean not body shapes, but just wardrobe pieces, and wheelchairs, trench coats, hats, whatever. That kind of more obviously they've just done more plain clothes figures, which those kinds of things, the goofy customs I kind of mess around with. I use legends pieces, 6-inch. Blackman will say, I was never into collecting or toys ever, even as a kid, but this DC line just pulled me in from the first time I saw that first Superman. Yeah, the first Superman's still dynamite. That's I was saying earlier. That's why I'm glad that Solar Suit Superman. They just added a beard to that first Wave 1 head because it's not broke. They don't need to change it. Bones doesn't care for legends, but he's not going to waste his breath. Yeah, talking crap about him. Yeah, I don't mean to like. Yeah, it's not even that I have. There's certain elements that are good, some are bad. It's just the biggest name on the street for $20 retail toys, so they become kind of the thing you hold up stuff next to compare it to Legends, because that's just kind of the ubiquitous. Daniel also collecting again because of McFarlane. DC, yeah, me too. I mean, that's my experience too. I'll never forget. I went over to a buddy's house, and he's like, "Have you seen this McFarlane Batman?" It was the Detective Comics 1000. And I was like, "That's not Todd McFarlane Batman. He's not making DC figs." I seriously, I was like, "No, he's not. That's not McFarlane." I was I was wrong. He somehow got DC. That's how out of the loop I was too on just figures. The way swivels manga drawer. You mean the Legends? The swivels. Just that cut on the Legends. I'll go in a rabbit hole talking crap about Legends, but there's some cool ones, yeah. And the Build-A-Figs are always really fun. Love the use the what you call it, that Hulk in the Detective. I can't think of his name now. Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, Auto Man. I get what figures I like. Just mix and match. Yeah, McFarlane, Legends, NECA figure. Yeah. Yeah, Vartan saying I only talk ill on Legends because their supporters are the main Todd detractors. I think so, and I think a lot of it's just like, yeah, they know what looks better. They know this looks better than what they got. Yeah, Vartan Otto just listed everyone who doesn't use thigh cuts, which is good. Yeah, we don't need the thigh cuts, guys. You know, I like this Batgirl, like a lot. The female figures, I think, just because they have a more slight frame, they're smaller. Cuts start to add up. They seem like the cuts are a little closer together and a little tighter, and my eyes kind of glaze over, and I'm not. It just looks like it's just been loaded down with cuts. You know, like they added this in back, or they didn't add this, but Batgirl has this cut right here, which is great. But a lot of the recent like female figures have just that one piece body, like Wonder Woman or the Drown. So while this is actually more fun to play with than Death Metal Wonder Woman, the cuts. Whew. So I'm sensitive to that. When you start cutting the whole thing, I start to check out. Joe Fixit, Scott Knight, thank you. It was Joe Fixit was the Hulk I was talking about. Yes. Ilmatic's talking about Transformers and vintage repaint, so I understand why McFarlane does it, but others cry about it as if they're obligated to buy them. Yeah, you're not obligated, and really, the repaints are fine, and I'll say it again, that Lex Luthor, that's how you do a repaint. Completely change up the color scheme, give them different pieces, but yeah, you don't have to buy them. It really gets on my nerves when they hit us with a bunch all at once, and it's like, yeah, there's a new wave coming out. Well, not really. It's all reuse. And I'm still got some little bit of beef with this Three Jokers wave with the reuse of these legs and the reuse. I don't have them yet, but the reuse of that bothers me. I'll get over it. But Nick, Happy New Year, man. Thanks for watching. Manga Drawer saying I'm scared of Neca. You should be scared of them, dude. They break all the time. I mean, I've seen some recent ones. I got buddies that have like the Back to the Future ones, the movie Turtles. They're out of sight. They're awesome. They are really cool. They're really fun. But man, I'm afraid to do much more than that to a NECA figure. You know, and they look. I got a few up there, some horror ones. They look cool as hell. But they also, I think realism is overrated. I want somebody to give me something that looks like it came from the comic page and was given dimension and shape. I don't need the super accurate, realistic, because then you're locked into NECA basically. If you want movie realism, you're not going to get it from this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, for me, it's about flexibility, because I don't have to tell you guys, burnout is real. If you go too hard on this stuff, you will flame out and crash. So you got to really know yourself. You got to be able to tell when do your eyes start glazing over and you kind of stop checking out and you stop spending as much time with each one of these that you get, you know? So I don't know. That's my moral. Yeah, Daniel Gambito. Yeah, I don't want an actor face. I want a comic figure. Yeah, I want a Henry Cavill Superman that can stand up right next to this guy and not look like he came from a different thing. What else are we talking about? They give us the option for different ones. Cody, yeah, right. Your Neca Back to the Future broke right away. They look great, but man, I got rid of all my cartoon turtles, which are obviously not the photorealistic. They looked really great. They weren't fun. They just weren't. And part of it's because they're Neca, and I'm afraid to do much with them. But also, they just don't have this, you know. What are you guys talking about? White Wings? Are you talking about gargoyles? Is Barton talking about gargoyles again? Yes, he is. I have 5 Goliaths, and I'm like, yeah. I knew it. He's hijacking my live streams to talk about gargoyles. The gargoyles are awesome. That Goliath is so cool, man. It is just a perfect taking a cartoon, very simplified cartoon design, giving him textures and fidelity to look like he really exists. It's cool. I can't do it. I've thought about it. I don't have a place for him. Oh, you didn't bring it up. Okay. Well, I mean, I could check the transcripts, but I'll trust you that you didn't bring it up. Yeah, Nick's talking about. Yeah, and that's just fan. I mean, Neca, they do things like that Bronx, and they package the other extra wings with it. It's a nice touch. It's good. It makes the accessory packs. They're killing it. And Todd needs to take note and kind of ape what they're doing as far as how they have the open editions online, accessory packs and stuff that make us like dedicated, devoted, loyal supporters, feel like we're getting some special that you can't get at Target, basically, you know. I did get that Neca Super Shredder, and I didn't hang on to him. It was really cool, but I wanted to like it, and I was getting the cartoon ones because that's more my thing. But Super Shredder, you can't pass up Super Shredder. And then these came around, basically, is what happened. And I was like, this is more fun. This is $20. This, I can find it in the freaking store. I don't have to go to eBay and shit. Was I going somewhere else with that? I can't remember. Whatever. The Super Shredder, he's awesome. You know what? My ideal, really, I think my ideal Turtles line would just be if Neca did those cartoon or did the game ones without painting that pixel thing on there. It looks dumb. Just go with the colorways of the game. Use those cartoon style sculpts. That's fine. It's not the exact fidelity of what the game looked like. I want it to look better than what the game looked like. But I just want those colors. I want those characters. I want You know what I've never seen in my life, which is wild? Human Baxter Stockman in his flying contraption that you had to fight in the sewer level before he transformed. Nobody's ever made that. Nobody's ever made that. Human Baxter Stockman in the flying thing. What do you mean? But that's my ideal thing. And then, because then, yeah, right. Like some of the characters from the game, Tora, I think, is the polar bear, leather jacket. That guy's awesome. The Shogun guy, the game exclusive character, and then the versions of Krang, Shredder, the ones that show up as the bosses. Yeah, Nick and Barton, you guys don't like the pixels either. But man, I mean, they're so cool. Like Slash and Armagon. Armagon, man, that is a deep cut. That, for me at least, that was like the Archie Comics, Ninja Turtles. I can't remember what the name of the series was, but it was they had all these different ones going on. Mighty Mutanimals was one of them, but there was this dope storyline where it was like Raphael came from the future, and he had an eye patch and he had a baseball hat. And he had all the other turtles' weapons because they they got killed in the future. Armagon. I don't know. We're not even talking about that. I'm just going off about it. Dark David, what is up, man? Happy New Year. Osmosis Shell. I couldn't read your username quickly enough. I wanted to say something, but Super 7. Has anybody? It's a serious question. Does anybody have a Super 7 figure of any kind in hand that they have, that they've bought? Oh man, that the video game stuff with the licenses, with the crossover characters, the Injustice 2 Turtles, and like Mortal Kombat. If we got a Mortal Kombat RoboCop or all right, okay, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with you guys, because you guys are talking about stuff and I was ranting about Ninja Turtles. Automan, those Mafex Dark Knight Returns, they look awesome. They look cool. I'm really stoked for that Dark Knight Returns wave for the multiverse. I know I've said it. I don't love Dark Knight Returns. I love Year One. I don't love Dark Knight Returns, and I think the way Frank Miller drew some of that comic is so, the choices, man. They're choices, and whether or not I like it is kind of beside the point of this. It's very memorable and iconic, and I think those Dark Knight Returns figures from the Multiverse line look as stupid as the way Frank Miller drew it, and I mean that in a good way. I mean that I like it. Oh, Injustice Hellboy. Oh man, now you're really. Man. Yeah, but talking about Mr. Freeze, I mean, hopefully there's something happens to the gun. Hopefully the gun mandate goes away, because you can't do Mr. Freeze without a big freeze blaster. Oh, you know what would be? You know what they should do is, I know it's not it actually, it's an art style that I don't super duper love, but the Harley Quinn cartoon would be a good wave. But I say that because that Mr. Freeze storyline in season 2 of the Harley Quinn animated is really great. Mr. Freeze story, and maybe one of my favorite Mr. Freeze stories since Heart of Ice, like the animated series. Check it out if you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about with his wife and stuff. It's a good Mr. Freeze storyline. Very unique. To me, it didn't feel like I'd seen it before. I liked it. Yeah, Daniel. No, only pictures and videos of Super 7. Yeah. Well, it's just wave after wave of pre-order, and I know some. Eventually some of them come out, but like they got wave 2 of Simpsons up for pre-order. Wave 1, they don't exist in hand. Nobody's got them. son of Batman figs in 2022. That would be dope. Um, Dark Knight Returns horse looks bad. It looks a little dollhouse horsey. It does. But I'm still stoked to get one, a horse. I mean, actually, I pre-ordered the Witcher horse, which is the same thing. It's coming out first. Because I want me some horsies. Quinn cartoon is hilarious. Definitely get them. It's good. It's good, man. And especially man, they do that Harley Quinn cartoon has done some just really funny stuff with completely unexpected. The the bachelorette party in Themyscira is really funny, man. All the Amazonian stuff. Batman armor is perfect mix between comics and movies. I like how they did that. I like it a little less now that they're just doing Dark Knight Returns. Um, but it's cool. It's a cool. I put that armored Batman low on my rankings. It's not because I didn't like it. It's fun and it's cool, and he's got. You know what? That reminds me. Back when we first saw promo images of that armored Batman, this is how out of the box I was speculating. I thought maybe that the armored Batman's arms, just the way they looked in that low res blurry photo, that they might be the soft rubber material. I still think they might do that. I still think they might implement it maybe on a mega fig, because it seems like the kind of thing they want to try to do is a completely no cut, soft, articulation points. I feel like that's something. The only thing is it just doesn't hold the detail. The soft material doesn't quite hold. Nick, are you heading out, man? Right on, buddy. Hey, thanks for hanging out in here. Sorry if you already left and I missed you. Martin, you really love that armored Batman. I've hate people say, yeah, no, he should be that tall. He's huge. He needs to be huge. He needs to be like wearing like 8 inches of boot sole. Yeah. Yeah, Joker. Joker denies how old he is. Yeah, the Infinite Jest thing was so funny. Can't wait for the new season of Harley Quinn. Yeah, totally. They use Bane a little too much. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. The Tom Hardy voice, it's funny, man, but they use Bane a little too much. Armored Batman is on sale for $11 on Dork Side Toys if anyone wants to check that out. Oh yeah, CJ's talking about the Batman verse. Yeah, it's not that far from the way that armored one looked, but it did look really cool in Batman versus Superman with the armor. Barton just loves Barton, he loves the Snyder stuff. It's fine. The Snyder, I don't. The Snyder stuff, like I love Man of Steel. Really like Batman versus Superman, especially the longer cut. I think it works a lot better. And then just I think all the other characters of the Justice League, they just don't quite connect for me. I mean, the Snyder cut is obviously way, way, way better. I mean, it's not even. They shouldn't even be compared to the theatrical. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the Wonder Woman solo movie, it was good. But like, it's weird. I like Jason Momoa a lot, man. I like Khal Drogo, awesome. But the Aquaman movie I tried several times to watch it. I couldn't. Wasn't luring me in. I do like I like the MCU a lot. I think it might start to it's gonna start getting stretched awfully thin. I feel like so many different directions. The MCU I think is now gonna be like they'll do the Black Widow spy stuff over here, and they'll do Young Avengers, and they'll do space, and then the big moments then in the crossover movies will be all those different kind of teams coming together. But it's gonna leave me. I'm gonna start tapping out into some of these corners. You know what I mean? Like if the spy stuff keeps being like that, like the Black Widow solo movie, I'm gonna lose interest a little bit. If the Young Avengers stuff maybe feels a little too, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I just heard knock on the door. It's probably mail. It's probably toys. I hope it's toys. Oh, CJ, you got Cyborg's hot toy? That's dope, dude. Hot toys are awesome, but um, I mean, obviously the cost of entry is very high. Um, but I got, man, when I got on sale, it was like, I think less than $100. I got that, Tony Stark from Iron Man 3, where he's in plain clothes. He's wearing a hoodie and jeans, and he just has a few pieces of his armor. It's so cool. I like those. I don't know. I just, plain clothes figures have a certain charm, and then you take Hot Toys level of execution into it, and it just is really fun. But I bet Cyborg is awesome too, with all his little, like, being able to see through all the pieces. Is it CJ? Is that die cast, the Cyborg hot toy? Illmatic, hey, thanks for watching, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you being here since the early days. Daniel saying the MCU is dying. I thought they were dying too. They keep kind of surprising me, and every time I do think, I'm like, that's not for me, and I watch it, I'm like, man, that was pretty good. Shang-Chi, probably first Marvel movie in forever I didn't see in theaters, and it finally came on Disney Plus, and we watched it. We're like, that was good. It was good, man. I thought the same thing after Endgame. It was like, all right, what's left? But I don't know. They're still doing fun stuff. Loki was, man. It was kind of a boring show, and it just felt too green screeny. Felt just like when you're too many scenes in Loki of just characters walking and they're on a green screen, and you can tell when somebody's not in a real environment. If you're walking down the sidewalk and there's a tree, and you kind of look at that tree, that's kind of maybe where your eye goes to until you pass it, and then now there's something else. It was just that, people walking on a green screen treadmill for like an hour and 20 minutes. It felt like week after week. But then at the end of it with the Kang stuff, I'm like, all right, this is badass. Yeah, Phase 4 is going to be rough. It is. It is, but man, that last episode of Loki gave me something to hang my hat on. And now I'm thinking maybe, all right, Ink Drop. Hey man, what's up? If Thundercats haven't opened them, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe. I never quite. I don't know if it's that I was the wrong age. It was because I was probably too young for Ghostbusters, but I ended up I loved Ghostbusters and had a ton of toys, and I think maybe just because I connected with that, I never was in the Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, Transformers. I was never in that realm as a kid. Varden's saying all the MCUs shows are terrible. I haven't started Hawkeye. It was all right. WandaVision, man. The thing about WandaVision is it's really cool, but they saved way too many of their mysteries for that last episode, and that last episode should have been a real nice, clean resolution and then cliffhanger to other stuff and wrapped things up. But there was too much to wrap up. They didn't commit to the Evan Peters thing, which was whack. It was trying to be like Lost, and have all these dangling threads that it wrapped up and a bow at the end, and it could not do that. It needed to give us some more things. If Evan Peters was going to be a joke, they should have very quickly made that clear and not had people kind of dangling on. Barton, I have not seen the video of how WandaVision's fights are all copied from Man of Steel shot for shot, but I could see that being the case. And there were way too many of the same fight happening over and over again in that last episode. I loved Cody. I grew up watching Nickelodeon, and 6 or 7 p.m. Nickelodeon's ends, and it becomes Nick at Night, and it's I Love Lucy. And when you're like 6 years old, you're like, I don't want to watch I Love Lucy, but I don't want to watch whatever else the grown-ups are watching. MASH, I don't want to watch that. So, I ended up watching a lot of those old shows. So the WandaVision show, I'm actually like, oh, this is actually, I connected with the different eras of sitcominess. Watch it. Oh, damn, Barton. I don't know how to use this computer while I have the live stream on. Hang on. I could look it up. No, I'm going to do that next time. Remind me, and we'll have the link pulled up. Because I do want to watch that, and maybe I can figure out how to like have that playing in here. I don't know. I'm stupid about YouTube. Well, I can't even open it. Oh, can I? All right. Well, so I open a tab. Can you guys still see me? This is really stupid. Me trying to work YouTube. All right, I'll do it on my phone. Barton wants me to watch this video, and he's saying that all of the fights from WandaVision were copied from Man of Steel, and he wants me to watch it. I've got it pulled up, and there's an ad playing, so am I watching the right one? Yeah, okay, I've got the right one pulled up. All right. Anybody else saying anything? You know what? I still haven't watched the the Swamp Thing show with this is the same fight. Yeah. The Swamp Thing show with God, I can't think of his name. Bald guy. Somebody help me. I mean, some of these are pushing it, but it's like, yeah, this is the same thing. And hey, it makes sense, man. Like, if you got Vision is the closest thing to Superman in the MCU, really, as far as like his power set. So, and I mean, my problems with the Snyder stuff definitely aren't the action scenes, man, and especially Man of Steel. Man of Steel has just some incredible moments. When this is straight up riffed off. When when he saves Lois from that thing that's crashing into the thing, and it's just kind of like close on her face, and the intensity of like the flight. That's good stuff, man. That Man of Steel is my favorite Snyder. Man of Steel looks great even today. It does. I think the Krypton stuff is unmatched awesomeness. What is the rarest DC Multiverse figure? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Oh, you guys are what? Black Mantle, are you watching that video too? You are, I can tell. Barton, you think Man of Steel is the best DC movie ever made? Wow. Best DC movie? That's a lot. It's good. It's freaking good. Because I can tell you, Superman doesn't really quite get my blood pumping. Man of Steel. I remember going to the theater and seeing that in theaters, and just that Krypton stuff being like, it blew my hair back. It was, and it still is freaking cool. And Michael Shannon is just shredding it. Daniel said, I only don't like that Superman killed Zod. I don't like Pa Kent. I don't like. It just seems too. I don't want to be. I don't. I hate to be the like just stereotypical Snyder dissent. But Pa Kent feels too Ayn Rand. For me, the whole keep it a secret, and he just goes and disappears into a tornado. I don't connect with that. But man, the the scene when Zod broadcasts like that transmission, and everybody's TVs just go wild and the power goes off. Oh, it's so creepy, and really, it's creepy. It's scary, and it's great. There's a lot of really great stuff in Man of Steel. Martin, what are you and Daniel talking about? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the him killing Zod isn't the crux of the issue for me. I don't I don't know. It just didn't feel Superman-y. The Pa Kent stuff, it doesn't feel Superman-y. You know, it's interesting. Um, and I if something's interesting, I don't good or bad doesn't even play into it for me as much. Like I guess that's why I like watching Phantom Menace over and over again. It's not about good or bad. It's just interesting. Whereas episode 2 and 3 are just bad. Yeah, Man of Steel has a killer score. Um, before they lost Snyder and Aquaman, the whole Civil War was started by Zod. Oh, that's interesting. Really? Varden's dropping some info. So Zod's invasion was going to play into Aquaman originally, is what he's saying. Uh, damn. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Man, I hate to say it because I wanted to like Aquaman so much. I haven't watched it all the way through. It just I've tried and it wasn't working for me. That opening stuff with Nicole Kidman, right, and they're fighting in that house. I don't know. It was just like maybe I just wasn't in the right um, headspace, I guess. But I'm telling you, I've tried to watch it a few times and I couldn't. I hate to keep saying that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like. Uh, Zod's invasion kicks off the whole universe. Yeah, I love that approach. I think that would have been a much stronger DCEU basically if what Barton is saying had come to pass, where Snyder's like the events of Snyder's DC movies would have played out into others. I think that's kind of part of it too. Um, how do I phrase that? I'm not sure. See, I like even if um, Birds of Prey or like the A or Suicide Squad. They're not perfect movies, but I like them, and I like that they don't feel beholden to having a certain tone or fitting in a certain way. But some of the other main characters don't feel nearly as connected to Batman and Superman. Um, you know what I mean? Aquaman, Wonder Woman, they just feel a little like this. Their stories don't quite fully gel with the Snyder stuff. which is all good stuff. I think that's again why I don't mean to be saying I'm like not a Snyder fan. I think there's a lot of really interesting, cool stuff. I think his the whole like in Batman versus Superman, the politics of people's different perceptions of Superman's really interesting stuff, and the imagery of him saving people from that flood and like stuff like that is really really good stuff. Just didn't quite all the way gel for me. Oh, Ares was totally different than Wonder Woman originally. Hey, I like Danny Houston though. At least we got Danny Houston. I want to see that guy in more stuff. I want to see that guy come back to American Horror Story. He was the Axeman of New Orleans in Coven. Oh man, we've been going for a while here. Hour and 45. I should probably start winding down. Is got any final any Todd predictions this year or hopes? I'm hoping for Justice League Dark. I am hoping for more of the Rogues Gallery. Man, we got Clayface coming. Hopefully, maybe start seeing Croc, Man Bat. Just some of those classic villains, and um, more than one version of them. I'll take how many Clayfaces you want to make. You want to make the Arkham City Clayface? I'll get that. You want to make one that's I don't know. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson family. Have you seen the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Nightwolf link? No, I haven't seen anything about Nightwolf. Is that for real? Is Nightwolf the Native American? Yeah, Vartan. I saw the Clayface picture with the closed mouth, and you know what? I think I said in a comment to you that he didn't have a waist. He does have a waist. It just looks really well hidden. I love it, man. I love the screaming faces and the clay and stuff. He does look like poop, but hopefully he also looks like clay a little bit too. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for yeah. I mean, the mega figs have just been dynamite, man. And it's like I could easily just see all these started getting taken over by the oversized mega fig uh, figures. I mean, somebody mentioned Grundy. That's a good one. Um, I mean, I guess I would just like to see some. Um, and yeah, because some who said it more Daniel said more Batman. So I don't know, Gotham by Gaslight. Where when we're getting more Batman, so see some cool ones basically. More of these actually. What I want is more of these dumbass Kenner style volcano mission Batman. Whatever. Uh, uh, Outer space Batman. Give me those. Kind of a shame he didn't wait on Devastator for a mega fig. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. Maybe they'll do. I don't know. Maybe they'll do Doomsday that way, or I don't know. Yeah, more White Knight. I hope it's in the cards, man. I want a. I know I've said it. GTO, everybody. GTO, Nightwing, Barbara, Harley, even Bullock. Um, what's her name? I'm spacing. She was there. Montoya. All those, and I mean, there's more White Knight books happening, so hell, I would even take man like the in Beyond the or Curse of the White Knight, the Zorro style Wayne ancestor. I can't think of his name. Yeah, Harley Quinn from the White Knight. Every Harley Quinn. I want that GTO Harley. I want plainclothes trench coat Harley. I want the gray new Harley from that spinoff that Sean Murphy's wife wrote. That was a pretty good storyline. That had the Great Ghost in it. Yeah. And I would actually like some more of these characters. I want a Michael Rooker, Savant, really bad. Yeah, Alex Ross figures. Seriously, man, that seems like a no-brainer. Salt and pepper temples, soups. Seems like a no-brainer. I guess I also just kind of want, in the same vein as like the White Knight, some of these releases and some of these sources that we've gotten one wave here, or we've gotten a couple characters there. I would just like to start coming back to those and filling those out. So yeah, more White Knight. But man, my number one wish is Watchmen, and it's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, no movie's gotten a second wave of Barton mentioned. Uh, yeah, Black Mantle saying, yeah, Alex Ross would be fired, but they need to improve the face sculpts. The face sculpts. Well, let's go out on face sculpts, guys, because that is a great face sculpt. Whether or not it's Jason Todd, that's up to you. It's a great face sculpt. It looks good. This looks like the game. It looks good. It's a good looking face sculpt. This one, her eyes are looking in direction, whatever. Ignore that. It's a great face sculpt. This, not. It's okay, but it's not great. Why can't there be some sort of unity and cohesion and level of quality consistency in the face sculpts? I don't know the answer. I can tell you, I've noticed some of these have a softer material for the head, and this softer material doesn't hold angles and edges and details nearly as well as a more rigid material. So it is my belief that underneath some of these not great head sculpts, including like the Aquaman, Jason Momoa, underneath all that, somewhere back on a computer where they have the digital sculpt that they did, it looks good. And whether it's the material they used for the head that didn't quite hold those details, or an issue with the paint where maybe it was laid on a little too heavy and all of those good details were lost under that paint. I don't know. Yes, Barton, when I finished Jokerbot, the only thought in my head was, why doesn't he use the rigid wings plastic for weapons? It makes no sense. It makes no sense that McFarlane Toys, the edgy guys on the block, can't give me a knife or a sword that looks like it has a sharp point. So yes, hopefully, and I hate, that Drifter Bruce Wayne, I posted about it, tried to say something nice about it, because I do think that jacket looks cool, the bike looks cool and stuff. And actually, even after looking at the head for a little while, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not as bad. And I do feel bad for whoever's on the other end of it, like that at the company who's getting so much negative feedback that they deleted the post. But man, people got to have their say. If they don't think it looks good, they got to say so. I try to. It's very unlikely that Todd is going to watch this channel and be like, oh, I got to start doing what he says. It's way more likely that somebody that worked on these and really gave a shit about them and tried their hardest and then had a bunch of corporate higher up interference that compromised the thing. It's way more likely that that person's going to watch this video. And I don't really want to that person to hear me taking a shit on these. because I like these. These are fun. I'm getting all of them, But we got to say how we feel. We got to talk about, So, this is what it is. Yeah, and it's sorry, I lost it. Daniel, and Barton, you guys talk about the side eyes. It's so funny to me because people talk about toys and they're very hyperbolic and exaggerated, and they come down really hard, very fast on things. Whereas the attitude, mostly from the side eye thing, is everyone's been like, "Yeah, we get why you did that. Don't do it anymore." It's been very like, "Okay, no," instead of just like, "You idiots! You can't believe you did that. Why would you?" You know how people talk about toys, but yeah, Vartan, have you seen about the Drifter Bruce Wayne? Did you see those? Somebody leaked photos. They had an unpainted, just the bare plastic. The head was way more in scale. The head looks way better, and actually, that figure I think it's going to be kind of cool. The head, I don't know, but the Drifter Bruce Wayne, that's a great plainclothes body. Figs 561, you feel for him too? Yeah, I don't know. I work on creative things that are then criticized, and I know what it's like. I don't want to contribute to an attitude where people feel like their work is being shit on, but we got to talk about things that people don't like. Oh yeah, that Batwoman Beyond is a great head sculpt. Yeah, see, some of them they look dynamite. It's really, it's kind of about finding that sweet spot of just enough detail, and I don't think trying to exactly mimic the look of a human actor is correct. I think you got to add a little bit of stylization in there. And what I would rather have is a Henry Cavill-esque head that looked in this style. Yeah, Vartan. That drifter bike, it looks kind of tight, honestly. Cooler, I would say, than the Bat Cycle, maybe. Just based on, I don't know. The Batwoman face looks like Ezra Miller. Somebody said the Batwoman face looks like Olivia Wilde. I can see it a little bit. All right, guys. Been talking for 2 hours. I need to go drink some water. Gotta go see what the mail is. Hopefully it's year 2. Barton seen some repaints of that Cavill head. Yeah. Death Metal fit Wonder Woman face sculpt's beautiful. Yeah, they can do it. And again, I mean, I'll whether you think that's Jason Todd or not, that's your call. I think that face is fantastic, and the hair as well. So, all right, guys. Happy New Year to all of you. Cody, peace out. Thanks for everyone for participating. Barton, Daniel, Bones. I know I saw you in here. Good to see you. Illmatic Prime. Thanks for coming out, boy. Automan. Black Mantle. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. And I'll try to get back on a regular live schedule when I can fit it in. I'd like to do it where I give you guys advance notice, but then that becomes just like this looming thing I have to do. So, Automan, appreciate it, guys. Mega Drawer, hey, thanks for hanging out. Figs 561, appreciate you guys being in here. Articulated Hero. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.